Hey, my name is Rowan Smith and I want to welcome you to the Training for Trekking podcast. Now, this is the world's very first podcast which is entirely dedicated to helping you train, prepare and conquer your upcoming hike, trek or mountain adventure. So once a week, I'm going to be giving you quality and practical information on the subjects of physical preparation for trekking, dealing with altitude and nutrition on the trail, so you can know everything you need to be doing to have the best chance of a safe, enjoyable and successful adventure. So now you know what you're in for. Let's get into today's episode. Alright, hello guys. Today we are talking all through some extra training and extra types of workouts that you can fit around your structured training program. Now, on this podcast, I'm always talking about following a structured training program for hiking or trekking or backpacking or whatever it may be. And that means having a clear plan of attack, knowing exactly what workouts you're doing, knowing exactly how you're going to have progress things, and really having a very laid out approach. In my opinion, I think that is worth its weight in gold for so many hikers out there. And I think if you're not doing that, you really should try it out, because over the long term, it can do some absolutely amazing things. However, one of my big beliefs is I really think training should be flexible and adaptable, in the sense that, some weeks you might be able to do 4 training sessions and you might write up a program saying, I'm going to train 4 times a week. But then another week, maybe you'll just have a bit of extra spare time and a bit of extra spare energy, and you'll be like, I could fit in a couple of extra training sessions, but I don't exactly know what to do. Maybe I don't want to do a couple of extra harder sessions because that might compromise my recovery. I'm not 100% sure. And, I just want things that I know I can do on the off chance that I feel like doing a little bit extra work. And the reason I'm talking about this today is this is, again, another quite a common question and topic that comes up with my online clients, because basically we draw up a program for whatever amount of days they want to work in the week, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, whatever they say, I'll write them up a program. But as I said before, there will always come times where people feel like doing a little bit more, and they just want some extras. And they always ask me, look, should I do another strength workout? Should I do another hill workout? Is that going to compromise my other sessions? Is that going to ruin my recovery? What should I be doing? So if you do find yourself in this situation, if you have laid out a program, but you occasionally don't want to do a little bit more, today I'm just going to list off a bunch of things that you can basically do as much as you want of. It's never going to compromise your performance. It's never really going to compromise your recovery. And it's going to be super beneficial to actually helping you on the trail as well. So it's not just random exercise that's just making you feel good, but this is stuff that is definitely going to contribute to your further performance and enjoyment on the trail. So I'm just going to list it off today. And then if you do find yourself in this situation, you can literally just choose one of these and away you go. So first and foremost, one of my favorites is simply getting in a body of water and either doing some swimming, or if you're not so into swimming, a bit of pool walking. Now, this is low intensity, this is low impact, super good for your recovery, also going to be developing your aerobic capacity, which is so valuable for your hiking. And you really can't do too much of this. Sure, if you're doing huge amounts of hours of swimming a week, you might get a bit fatigued, but if you're doing an extra session or 2 of swimming or pool walking, it's never going to be a bit much. So if you do have access to a pool or a body of water or whatever it may be, that can be a really good option. Another option on the similar vein of that is cycling. So whether it's cycling just on a push bike, on a mountain bike, or on a stationary bike, is just cruising around at an easy intensity, some intensity where you can maintain, the nose breathing pace, or something you can carry a conversation. Literally, you can do as much of this as you like. You can do hours and hours and hours of this at this lower intensity, and it's not really going to compromise your recovery, compromise your other sessions, but it is going to be super valuable for your hiking. Again, developing that aerobic capacity and improving your recovery as well. So that can be another really fantastic option just to slip in whenever you like, or if you feel like just having a cruise on top of your normal sessions. The next thing from here is just doing some type of casual, unloaded walking. Now, the reason I haven't put this at the front, at the top, is because this is good when you're just walking around the neighborhood, walking on the treadmill, doing some very light, beach walks or hikes or whatever it may be. However, some people do go a bit overboard on this, and they'll do, 3 hours of walking every single day on top of whatever other training they're doing. And some people will struggle, with their feet, with their shins or whatever it may be. But if you're just doing a few extra walks here and there that are a casual intensity, that don't have any extra weight on your back, that's going to be fine most of the time. So feel free to add in some low intensity walking on top of what you're already doing. The next one might be a great addition, which I love, and I think it gets underutilized a lot. It's never really part of, the standard things I recommend, but it can be very beneficial. It's just doing a little bit of Pilates. Now, Pilates is low intensity, it's low impact. It's going to be working on some pretty relevant muscles and relevant, control for hikers, and it can be a great way just to add into your week. So if you have a little bit extra time, either going onto YouTube, doing a Pilates class on there, or maybe doing an online class or a gym class or whatever it may be. In the same vein, yoga goes pretty similar. Now, while Pilates is working more on core stability and all of that, yoga is a bit more working on mobility, but it can be a really, really good addition because it's going to help, mobilize certain muscles, but it's going to help calm you down, relax, and it's going to be a great addition as well. And unless you have some particular issues, whether it's injury or yoga aggravates anything, you probably really can't do too much of that on top of a normal training program. So that can be a really good addition as well. And in the same veins along that, doing foam rolling sessions or stretching sessions, again, you're never really going to do too much of that if you're not using that time taking away from your other training. Now, a typical trap I see a lot of people will do is they'll be like, okay, I want to train 3 hours in the week, but then they'll end up foam rolling for an hour and a half of that because they just love it and it's an easy option. And then they're not actually doing any other training. Well, they're only doing a small amount. So as long as you're doing your normal training session, feel free to do as much rolling or stretching as you like on top of that. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to help you relax and calm down, and it's never going to really do any harm. Now, that's probably it. There probably are a bunch of other things you can do, but as you've sort of seen through all of this, there is a bit of a theme. This is all low intensity exercise. Most of it's really, really low impact. It's not really going to strain you too much. It's probably going to help some part of your hiking performance, whether it's your aerobic capacity, your mobility, your core development, or whatever it may be. But it's also going to help your recovery because it's going to help relax the body. So if you do find yourself in this situation where you just want to add a little bit more week by week or whatever it may be on your training sessions, but you're wary of doing more full sessions, take one of those options, fit it in. You're never going to do too much of that, and it will be a great addition to everything. So I hope you got a few good insights into this, guys. If you were looking for a little bit more information on this, if you were wanting, a bit more direct advice around your programming, just to know whether you can fit in an extra session or whether you can have to do one of these recoveries or whatever it may be, come find me on the Training for Hiking and Trekking Facebook group. As I've said, I'm always happy to have deeper conversations on there, always happy to answer questions, always happy to give you some advice around your programming. So come join up in the group, have a conversation, join the crew. Would really love to see you there, and I'll leave the link for that in the show notes below. But thank you so much for listening today, guys. It's been I hope it's been relatively valuable for you. I hope you got some insight, and I hope it'll help you moving forward. So have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.